Chapter 36. I awoke to the smell of frying bacon, a scent which had the rather Proustian effect of sending me back in time and space to Clara's kitchen. Clara cooked breakfast exactly once a week on Saturday mornings. The rest of the week, David and I were left to our own devices. Still, those Saturday morning breakfasts of bacon and eggs, or pancakes and log cabin syrup, were among the high water marks of what was otherwise a dreary childhood at best. Eyes still unopened, I snuggled under the blankets, wrapped in warm, fuzzy memories of familial love and hot hominy grits with melting butter. Slowly, it dawned upon me where I was. I reached out and felt the uninhabited side of the bed. It was still warm. Keith had obviously carried me to bed. I was more than a bit sorry I hadn't been awake for that one. I buried my face in Keith's pillow and enjoyed the smell of his hair. I stretched out across the bed, covering as much of it as I could. I'd awakened in Keith Keller's bed, and I liked it. Liked it a lot. I climbed out of bed with some reluctance, pulled on my jeans, and followed the breakfast odors downstairs. Keith stood in the kitchen, backlit into silhouette by the Saturday morning sunshine streaming through the window, in a gray UCLA t-shirt, a pair of once white gym shorts, and no shoes. He was shoving scrambled eggs across a frying pan. My mouth watered. Whether from the breakfast scents in the morning air or the sight of my sunlit love, who could tell? Keith smiled in my direction. "Morning, June," he said. "Hello, Ward," I cooed in my best Barbara Billingsley. "Where are the boys?" Keith set down the fork he was holding and swept me into his arms in a flourish of mock dramatics. "I gave them each a quarter and sent them to the movies." He kissed me a long Hollywood kiss. "Hope you're hungry," Keith whispered in mock seduction. "By some coincidence, I'm starving." "Then I hope you like scrambled eggs," he said. "If you don't, just lie to me," he said, turning the eggs out onto plates. "There's only so much a man's ego can withstand." I leaned against Keith's back and kissed the nape of his neck. "Hey, I'm really sorry about last night," I said. "I'd had such an impossible day and was so tired, certainly no reflection on the company." "Well, that's good to know. I was beginning to harbor serious doubts about my sex appeal." "Believe me, Mr. Keller, your sex appeal is very much intact." "God, what a relief," he said, pantomiming wiping sweat from his brow. "Sit, eat," Keith said, carrying the plates to the table. "There are children starving in Europe." "India." "Whatever," he said, taking a seat across from me. "Make no mistake," I said, digging into a healthy helping of eggs. "Keith Keller gives good breakfast." "Thank you," Keith smiled. "You're encouraged to kiss the cook." Our smiles met over the table at a midpoint between our faces, shook hands, and walked off arm in arm. "Anyway," Keith said, "I did learn a valuable lesson from this experience." "Really now? And what might that be?" "If I ever hope to spend any time with you in a waking state, it will probably have to be during daylight hours. And by the by, what are you doing today?" "You mean you actually want to spend the day with me after the rollicking good time I showed you last night?" "Of course. Do you think I'd slave over a hot stove for just any old Friday night trick? So how about it? Today? Huh? Can we? Huh?" "No, I'm afraid not. I've got to drive out to Laguna Beach this afternoon. Me and Snooky are doing a wedding down there in the morning, and tonight we're going to see some friends of Snook's in some show or other. I'm all yours for the next, 2 or 3 hours, though." "That's it," I said, in a breathy Rita Hayworth vampy voice. "If you want me." "Oh well," he said, "if that's all I can get. Eat up fast and get your derriere noir upstairs and back into bed pronto." "You nasty boy." "Too true. Want some coffee? Love some." Keith went to the kitchen to pour the coffee, and I watched his lovely caboose pull away. "How do you take it? A lot of milk, no sugar." "You know," I said, accepting a cup and tickling the back of Keith's hand in the bargain, "you're going to make somebody a good little husband someday." "That was what I was hoping," Keith replied, a meaningful look in his eyes that I didn't have the chance to question, as we were interrupted by the ring of the telephone. "Hello?" Keith answered. A quizzical look crossed his face. "Yes, he is." He held the receiver toward me. "It's for you." It was my turn to look puzzled. Who knew I was here? There was only one person alive with the gall to track me down to Keith's place. Hello, Snooky, and this better be good." "Oh, honey, I'm so sorry to call you there, but I had to get in touch with you, and you weren't at home, so I figured if you were half the man I think you are, you had to be with him, and he was in the book, and I'm really sorry." "You weren't, like, right in the middle of anything, were you?" "Not yet, but make it quick, okay?" "Okay, quickly. Marcia just called. Rudy Wilson had a cancellation today." "You're kidding." "No, he was supposed to suit some glamour puss this afternoon. Marcia wouldn't tell me who, and what I just love to know, well, it seems her boyfriend beat her up, gave her a shiner that Max Factor couldn't begin to cover, so she had to cancel." "Oh, shit. Why today? Why the hell did he have to hit her today?" "Oh ho, planning to spend the morning with tall, blonde, and adorable, were we?" In a word, yes. Johnny Ray, believe me, I know what you're going through, but you need this photo shoot. You've got to have a really good headshot, and this is Rudy Wilson, for Christ's sakes. Sigh. What time? High noon. Great shit in the morning. It's 10:30 now. I'm going to have to hurry. All right, then, hurry. Pick you up your place, 11:30. Okay, damn it. Bye, damn it. Click. I returned to the table where Keith was absently chewing on a piece of toast. Why do I get the feeling I no longer have you for the next, 2 or 3 hours? I plopped down into my chair. God damn it, I've got this photo shoot with Rudy Wilson. The Rudy Wilson? The very one. He seems to be a friend of Marcia's, and he agreed to do a session with me whenever I had some free time. He had a cancellation today, and he offered to fit me in. I really have to do this. You've seen my headshot. It's about 2 years old. Snooki took it in his apartment. No frills, just 1, 2, 3, smile and say cheese. And this is the Rudy Wilson, after all. So I won't see you again until next week? I know. Well, when do you have to go? About an hour. Keith raised one eyebrow in the corresponding corner of his mouth in a nasty little half smile. About an hour, he said. That should be just long enough. Long enough for what? One hopes. He just smiled.